Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's roundup of tips 5 through to 8 of our Christmas top selling tips, tips for selling your home. So today I'll be joined by sales manager Craig Kirk, who's going to be sharing his thoughts on this week's sessions. So this will be a consolidated version of the lives so far. So obviously, as I said before, feel free to invite anybody who might want to join us. Just comment with their names below our session. Myself and Craig will be looking out for the comments. And I think what's best is we'll probably look at the questions at the end of the session if there are any. If you're catching up on this a bit later, you can still comment. We do get notifications, then between myself and Craig, whoever sees it first, we can share those answers for everyone's benefit as well. If not, please also do share this with your network on social media. You don't know who might need to see this. And what's great about this session is it's nice and consolidated, so they get all this week's tips in one live. Super. So Craig, thank you for joining me today. I know you're in the office and it's probably super busy.
It is today, yep. Friday is always a busy day preparing for the weekends.
True. What I wanted to ask you first of all is actually what your thoughts. I know you've been in the office and I've been doing the sessions, but what were your thoughts on this week's lives?
Yeah, really good actually. Very, very informative. Lots of information there for people. I think the one that stood out for me was the one about why you should market your property at this time of year. Although it might be a little bit quieter in terms of people out viewing, but I tend to find that the people are viewing are the more serious buyers. So they're the people that are out buying at the moment. So
absolutely, that's so true. That's a good point. But yeah, so a brief recap. On Monday, we spoke about the importance of golden rings. The importance of being proactive as an estate agent with calling their database, which is essentially for us a gold mine of potential buyers waiting to find the right property. So Craig, as I guess sales manager of an estate agency, why would you stress it's so important to be proactive, or why it's crucial with an estate agency when it comes to speaking to the database?
Well, in this market at the moment, obviously in this time of year, you've just got to be proactive. You've got to go out and find those buyers, and there's a lot of choice out there for people at the moment. So you've got to make sure as the agent that you are getting the right people through the doors, and obviously building up that relationship with people. I know the guys here, in terms of their buyers, they have a list of what we call hot buyers. Who we're talking to on more or less a daily basis, not just about properties that they're seeing with us, about properties that they're seeing with other agents. What are they comparing our properties to other agents' properties? Obviously, that feedback can go to our vendors as well, so we've got that dialogue sort of both ways. Very
good. That's so true, actually. Like you say, being proactive with the phone calls, especially this time of year, is so important. Super. Then on Tuesday, we shared why certain properties need to consider what we're using at the moment, elevated photography. So what were your thoughts, and have you got any properties that you feel really benefited from that type of photography?
Well, we've got one on the market at the moment. It's a property down in Hersham, Ensley Gardens. You've got the details here. So you can quite clearly see that there's quite a huge hedge out the front of the property, and that hedge towers over me. And if I were to go down there and take a picture of that, I would literally just get a picture of a hedge, which doesn't do me any favours, and it doesn't do our vendor any favours.
No.
So we have professional photographers, architectural photographers, so they specialise in property pictures, who they'll go out there and they will obviously do the elevated photography, and you'll just get a much wider view, and you can pretty much see the whole plot. And it, like I say, you've got to make it stand out from the crowd.
Definitely.
In order to get people interested.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing we mentioned in that live as well, which is so true, and it's really useful, especially for the plots that you've got. So in Walton, Thames, you've got your 1920s, 1930s bungalows. You've got some of your period properties that are detached, and the plots they're on are so untouched. They've got so much potential that we've seen with the elevator photography. It is such a good technique or type of photography to actually show developers or even buyers looking for something to put their own stamp on the potential of the property. So that I found was, in that regard, elevator photography is key for people to really see, before they even go and view the property, the potential of that property as well, and that plot.
And I think this particular one, obviously, you can see the grandeur of the house.
Yeah.
You can see the size of it. You can see it's double fronted. It's got a lot of character about it, and you can see garden and all sorts that you wouldn't necessarily see if I took a picture from the street.
Exactly, and that's a gorgeous plot as well. And I don't think you would have got that in standard photography, which we don't want to take that away. I think that's something that's really important. We don't want to take away the importance of photography, professional photography. But there's just some properties that could do with that certain aspect that needs to be shown, the features of the property, the plot size. That, again, you could be the world's best photographer, but elevator photography does something so different. So yeah, let's not take that away from photography. It's key, but properties like Ensley Gardens and some of the properties, some bigger plots, those are properties you really want to make sure you're using elevator photography if you've got that type of property yourselves. Super. So Wednesday, we spoke about social media. And why estate agents really need to start looking at implementing social media within their listings marketing strategy. So, Craig, I think from you, what are your feelings on the impact that social media has had on the way property industry is at the moment, or maybe in the office?
Well, we all know social media is absolutely huge at the moment. And in terms of being an estate agent, it's about getting your properties, well, not just the properties, the information that people want to know, and it's about getting it in front of them. And when people are on the train on the way home, or they're sat at home in an evening, what are they on their phones? They're on social media. So you've got to get the property in front of them. And in terms of ourselves, we can literally narrow it down to who is going to buy this property near the station. Or who's going to buy this property near the school. We can narrow it down to a certain demographic of people, and then you're going to create more interest. And like I said, it's about getting people through the door, and whatever sort of platforms you can offer to the vendors in terms of getting it out there on the market, the more the better for me.
Absolutely. So I think that's what I found really, really useful in terms of, like you say, the marketing side of it, is being able to actually hone in on the certain demographic of who that property that we're listing at the moment would appeal to. And it's picking up on those, what we call passive buyers. So if you remember on that live, I spoke about 4 different buyers, and using social media picks up the ones who aren't the active buyers, the ones who will move when they see the right property on their timelines. So yeah, social media, I think that was a really good live this week, and I had a few DMs come through on that. And then yesterday, finally, we spoke about video, something we've gotten very involved in as well recently, and as Craig is as well. He's been doing the top 30 most saleable roads in Walton on Thames, which, by the way, if you guys get a moment, go and check it out. And number 29 is coming out in the next day or so. So yeah, Craig, what are your feelings on using video within the property industry for, I guess, a property marketing?
So when you market a property, obviously, like I said at the previous point, it's about getting as much information for people. And rather than maybe we have to wait a few days to book the photographers in, we can go straight down there, do a quick video for people, just so we've got this property coming up, and do a video tour just around the property. And not just the properties as well, video for just getting information, like we're doing here, information for people. It's good to just get it out there. So yeah, whatever you can do to get information out to people is fantastic.
Yeah, I think the thing we discussed yesterday as well is it's kind of overlooked, but the convenience of video as well. So we look at the demographic locally of who we're selling to, very busy people. They are your professionals, and having a video come up in their timeline, if because obviously we will have target them. Having a video come up of basically consolidating all the best bits about this property, the feel of walking through a property and being in that home. It just makes it a lot more convenient to just, instead of clicking or swiping, they're on their timeline, our video starts playing of the property tour. And from there, it gives people an idea as to whether this is going to be, quite honestly, a waste of time, or I quite like the feel of this walkthrough of this property, or, So from that point of view, it's convenient for the other side, for the potential buyer, who we will have targeted as well. So yeah, I think that basically summarizes all of this week's tips as well. Thank you, Craig, for joining me. I think we've just lost him, but he'll hopefully join us in a minute again. But yeah, some really good comments from Craig, who it's great to hear from somebody who's actually in the office, in the industry, and somebody who can actually comment on the effects of everything that we basically discussed so far within the series. Like, we've got him back again. Awesome.
Yes, I'm back.
What happened there?
I have no idea, but you sounded like a robot. But hey,
technology,
we're back.
That's fine.
Technology,
We're good.
eh, Claudia? Who do you video?
Something I deal with every day. But yeah, so as I said, it was great to hear from you, Craig. I was just saying, somebody who's basically within the industry firsthand and can speak about the effects of everything we discussed this week, and the pros of implementing all of these elements within their marketing strategy as an estate agent. Yeah, so before I let you go, Craig, sales property of the week, before we get into the weekend, what is
sales property of the week? Yes. Where are we? So we've just had the draft brochure in for property in Winchester Road. Can you see that one?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know that property. It's a beautiful house. Yes.
It's a cracking road as well.
Yeah.
Right in the town centre. We're actually on the corner of Winchester Road, our office. So it's a 4-bedroom semi-detached Edwardian. There's a huge amount of character about it. It's going to be launching in the next few days.
Awesome.
Log on to the website, or we'll be doing a video about it shortly. I hope.
Yes.
Just to get the information out there. But if someone wants to view it, yeah, give us a call and we can hopefully get you in there prior to the launch.
Fab. And then if I can ask you, lettings property of the week? I know we haven't got the head of lettings there, but what's this week's lettings property of the week? Do you know? Oh, he's frozen. Oh no. We're doing so well. Okay, well, unfortunately, we haven't got Craig to sort of comment on this week's lettings property of the week, but what I will do is I'll put that in the comment section below. I'll put this week's sales property of the week, lettings property of the week. And as I said, we were talking about Craig going out and doing top 30 most saleable roads in Walton on Thames. And we're just busy editing number 29. And what's great about it is you really want to keep an eye out to see if your road or your street makes the top 30. Some really interesting stats in there about how that road or street in particular is performing. So be sure to check that out as well. But yeah, so I hope you found this consolidation of this week's live really helpful and informative. But if you do want more free property advice outside of what we've discussed in this session between myself and Craig, there he is. We're having such fun today.
Oh.
But yeah, if there's anything else outside of the lives or what myself and Craig have discussed today, head over to the Walton Property Community Group. Craig is also a contributor, so you can direct your questions to myself, Craig, or any of the consultants as well. We'll keep an eye out for those comments. Failing that, you can also head to the free advice section on the website, and that's rochills.co.uk/free help and advice. And be sure to check out this week's property of the week that Craig just discussed. We're getting the video tour for that soon.
And also, sorry to interrupt there, Claudia, I was just speaking to the guys in lettings. We've got a lettings property of the week.
Yeah.
Not yet on the market. I don't think it's about to go on the market.
Okay.
A 2-bedroom apartment in Gainsborough Court, literally a stone's throw from the station. Really, really nice inside. Well worth a look. That is coming up in the next few days. So anyone looking to rent near the station, commuters, it's absolutely ideal. Give us a call.
Super good, thank you so much. But yeah, be sure to check out Craig's top 30 roads. We'll share this week's sales and lettings property of the week, as Craig's just mentioned, so you can have a look at those when they come up. But yeah, any questions, drop them in this live. Craig and I will keep an eye out for them. In fact, let's keep an eye on, we've got some questions here actually. Let's have a look.
Just a follow-up call really, just to see how things
What can we view? Hi guys, great tips. Thank you so much. We're glad you found the tips useful. And in terms of which properties, as you've just mentioned, thank you for the question. We'll put the link in for those properties just so you can actually have a look at those. Now, as Craig said, they aren't even live on the portals yet, but this is what's great, is we can let you know that these properties are coming up. We'll put some details in there. Craig will do a video tour. And if you want to know more about it now, call the office. The office number is 01932 22 21 20. And you can ask to view either lettings property of the week, Gainsborough Court, not yet on market, great for commuters. And then obviously for Winchester Road as well. Fantastic location, like Craig said, town centre location, fantastic schools, and obviously great for commuters as well. You're 15 minutes walk from Walton.
Loads of character about it as well. I don't think it's going to be around for very long.
Edwardian doesn't come up often, Craig, so you're right. I think that one should shift quite quickly as well. So, but yeah, thank you, Craig, for joining me today. I guess I better let you get back to work at the office.
Yes, I've probably got a mountain
of work to do.
Emails to get through now. So
good luck with that. Right. Everyone, thank you for joining. Thank you for your questions, and I'll see you next week for live and tip number 9. See you soon. Have a good weekend.